My Hero Academia chapter 290 is out, and for me personally, this is potentially one of the most interesting chapters of the series so far. Because this is not just about one particular name reveal. We all knew that it was coming, but rather this chapter represents something much more deeper and to some extent sinister as well. Because this particular chapter dives into the human psychology and human emotions aspect, and that for me is a very interesting concept. So hello and welcome to Undervisey. My name is Soham and today we are going to talk about My Hero Academia chapter 290 and its nuances, because things are about to go very dark from here on. Also, you are about to enter spoiler territory, so if you are an anime only viewer, then you are highly advised to leave this video right now. Also, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to the channel since I do weekly anime and manga related content. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2020, so a like and sub would be massively appreciated. Now on to the video. So I'd like to begin this video by addressing something. So there's a vocal minority among the fandom on Twitter which is kind of disappointed with this chapter, because according to them, this particular reveal was kind of bland and it doesn't add anything of much importance to the overall story. And according to them, it kind of halts the action of this entire arc. Now I do agree that it kind of halts the action of this entire arc so far, but it is very necessary for the series moving forward, because it ties in elements from the past as well as ties in elements from the potential future as well. I'll try to talk about all of them and explain them with my personal thoughts and feelings, but at the end of the day, I'm also a human and I might be wrong. So I'd really request you all to mention your thoughts in the comment section as well, and if you feel that I'm wrong in any place, please don't hesitate to correct me. Now, this particular chapter obviously reveals the truth about Dabi, that Dabi is actually Toya Todoroki, the eldest son of Enji Todoroki. This is something we as fans knew for a really long time, and this was potentially one of the biggest talking points of the series other than who is the UA traitor. That plot is not solved yet, but this is finally getting its resolution. But the thing is that this particular chapter does not only reveal the name of Toya Todoroki or the identity of Dabi, but rather it brings about the eventual fall of the Hero Society as a whole. This is not just about Endeavor now, this is about the entire Hero Society. Now, something which I find very interesting here is the quote we got from Deku from the starting of this particular arc. When this war arc began, Deku said that after this war was over, we lost a lot of heroes. Now, in the beginning, I and a lot of other people thought that this was quite literal, that is, they lost heroes because the heroes died as an aftermath of Shigaraki and the entire League of Villains stuff. But now I think that it is much more deeper than that. And I'm very happy to see that this series is actually going pretty dark, because this is not just about the lives of the heroes as a whole. This is now becoming about the trust of the heroes from the general public. Now, in order to explain this, I'll try to give you all an example. Take the real world for an instance. Imagine you are having an elected leader or a person who is the face of the public and who is extremely respected. You knew that he had some shady past, but you didn't know about it in exact detail. But now the truth about him is being revealed by the person who was abused by him or her, and now the entire thing has opened up in front of your eyes. Would you still be able to continue to support this particular person after knowing the truth about him and after knowing what all horrible, horrendous stuff that he or she has done? I really don't think that you would be able to. I know that humans are not good or bad, like this is not a black and white shade. There is grey, there is moral grey in everyone. But still, human morality trumps over everything else. And here in this particular instance, Endeavor's morality or Endeavor's actions from the past will get the better of him in the future. I really liked the character of Endeavor from a really long time, because he is a nuanced character. He is not your typical good versus evil or black versus white caricature. He lies in the morally grey zone. He's a person who has done some horrendous stuff, like absolutely horrendous stuff in the past. And even till date, we actually don't know what exactly he did with Toya. To us the readers, it's always revealed as the day. We don't know what happened on the day. Did he actually try to kill Toya, or was there some sort of an accident because of which Endeavor is having a remorse and fatherly remorse now? We don't exactly know what happened on that day, but we do know that he had done some horrendous job as a whole. And not only that, we are slowly getting more and more glimpses into the past of Enji Todoroki. It might be possible that he had actually married Rei as an underage girl. That might also be the case, and he has done some absolutely terrible stuff with his very own children. So now you have to imagine the reaction of the public. They come to know about all this stuff of Endeavor when they are at their weakest. This once again goes into the human psychological aspect, and this chapter actually deals a lot of human psychology and human emotions as a whole. We have to remember that the human mind is at its most vulnerable when it is hurt, and this is the perfect opportunity for something like that. This all ties back to the statements made by Stain, Hero Killer Stain, and this will play a major role in the series moving forward. What happens here is that the entire public and the entire nation of Japan and possibly the entire world comes to know about the truth of Enji Todoroki, that is Endeavor. And here Endeavor is not just a singular person, he is actually representing the entire hero society because he is after all the number one hero. He is someone who has been chosen to become or represent the hero society as a whole. And if someone like him, that is the number one hero, is revealed to be such a horrendous person, then obviously the general public will despise him and the hero society as a whole. The trust of the entire hero society will be revoked and people will now question if they even need the entire hero society. It all comes back to the question of Hero Killer Stain, that heroes nowadays are not like All Might who just want to protect people, but they have done some terrible stuff on their own. And this will create a rift in the society, and most of the people, not all. Again, humanity is not just one singular entity. There will be facets of people who will still believe in the hero society, but a large chunk of them will be detached from them. They will become against the hero society, they will become against the fundings, because we have to remember that taxes, fundings and all of these stuff play a very important role in the world of My Hero Academia. The entire hero society is sustained by the taxes given by the general people. And in a scenario like this, if the general public is angry at the hero society, then I don't think they will be able to sustain themselves. Because at the end of the day, they are paid workers. Obviously, there will be more nuances to this and I'll get to them in a bit. But I think I need to talk about one particular aspect here. Obviously, we all know that Horikoshi is a very big fan of American comics, and this particular chapter actually reminded me of X-Men and the mutant situation. Like how the rift between mutants and human came up, and how the question of power actually comes up. This is very reminiscent to something like that. Moreover, there are a lot of other callbacks in this particular chapter as well. Like if you remember the end of the overall arc, there Dabi says something in regards to Shogi and how the king needs to be taken down. And this is the entire situation right now. He was the one who actually created the high-end Nomu situation and the entire fight with Endeavor, and how that particular fight helped in increasing the popularity of Endeavor as a hero. And all of that was just a grand scheme done by Dabi as a whole, because he wanted to build up Endeavor and then bring him down. And just imagine the level of horror that these people, that is the general people, would have to imagine or go through when they see that the entire destruction was actually brought about because of the actions of Enji Todoroki, the supposed number one hero. Because in that particular live stream, Dabi says his entire life story, and of course anyone with a shred of common sense will have sympathy for Dabi, because after all, at the end of the day, Dabi was a creation of Endeavor, and it was his hatred, his anger and his emotionlessness which actually created a villain like Dabi, who goes on to murder so many innocent people. So obviously now that the general public is hurt by the deeds of these villains, they need someone to throw their frustration upon. And now that particular pinpoint or that particular dummy would be Endeavor. The entire anger and mental frustration of the general public will fall upon Endeavor and as a whole the hero society now. Because for them, ultimately or indirectly, this situation was created by the heroes themselves. This is a really dark turning point for the series. And before the start of this particular war arc, there were a lot of theories going on that this particular arc will actually proceed with a time skip, and then the hero society will go underground because of the loss in this particular war arc. Now I think this is much more credible, not just because of a loss against Tomura Shigaraki, but because of a loss of face from the general public. Again, I'm not saying that the 100% public will shun them. There will be people who will still support or who will still believe in the hero society. There will be people who will understand the fact that humanity or humans are not just one molded beings. They have multiple different facets, multiple different personalities. A person can do a mistake, a person can be sorry for that, and a person can actually move on. But not everyone will believe that. And I think those people, the people who are directly affected by these heroes, directly saved by these heroes, people who saw the efforts done by Deku and the other heroes, they know how much effort these heroes put in. I think they will be the only people who will believe in the hero society as a whole and that is how the hero society will actually go underground, and maybe a resistance will be formed against the ruling villain class. This will be some very interesting stuff, and I'm really eager to see something like that. But at the end of the day, I think the repercussions of Darby's truth will be very devastating, not just for Endeavor, but for the hero society as a whole, and this will lead to their downfall. This is something going to be very dark and sinister as a whole. Of course, in this chapter there are a lot of literary allusions as well, and I think this chapter plays a very well job to portray the human emotion and human psychological aspect, because for me the character of Endeavor has always been a very nuanced one. He is a person who has done horrible stuff in the past, but he is also someone who has repented for it, who is sorry for it, and who wants to move forward. But the question is it so easy to move forward? Is it so easy to just forget the sins of your past? Is it so easy to just forgive and forget everyone and just move along with your life? The answer is possibly no, or yes, I don't know. This is something psychologists have been asking for a really long time, and this is something everyone will have a different interpretation or different opinion on. I really love chapters like this where the question is not just about fighting, it's about the human emotions, human psychology, and humanity as a whole. This chapter provides to do something like that in my opinion, and I feel like this will be very important in the future of this particular series. Lastly, I would like to end this video by saying that this is not just about Toya Todoroki or Enji Todoroki now. This is much more nuanced than that, and this is going into the human psychological stuff and entering into the debate of good versus evil, or is power really necessary? Or one can even say that this is in the territory of chaotic evil or chaotic good, which is necessary for the society to keep everyone in check. These are some psychological questions that Horikoshi has asked us in this particular chapter. And to be honest, to be very frank with you all, this chapter is kind of reminding me of Attack on Titan and the philosophy of Attack on Titan right now. Personally, I was really excited with this chapter of My Hero Academia because it did something very interesting in my opinion. But these are some of my thoughts, some of my unscripted thoughts in this particular regard. If you think that I've missed something, if you think that you want to add something more on your own in this particular narrative of psychological or philosophical thoughts, then please feel free to add them in the comment section below. But this is it for today guys, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, share it with your friends, share it on Twitter, share it on Reddit, share it on Facebook, and subscribe to the channel for more. Once again, we are trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2020, so a like and sub would be massively appreciated. With that being said, this is Wonderwise and I'll see you soon in the next video.